And when we fast forward now into beginning of March, when we started seeing, and middle of March, when we were closing down schools, we had a core of enough people familiar with Aludo and administrators familiar with Aludo that when our district came up with this plan of, okay, we need to prepare ourselves as professional educators to to ramp up our own technology skills and prepare for distance learning. Well, we had enough of those core people at each site and throughout the district that they really started pushing Aludo out, and the need um, was very apparent from all of the teachers who were engaging in their professional learning. And so we went from, I'd say, about 100 users in February to the middle of March. Towards the end of March, we hit um, over 650 users. And Kelly and I were um, we were looking at from 15 to 30 pages of achievements to review each night, because so many teachers were finding the activities engaging and useful, and they were learning skills that were directly relevant to what they had to prepare for distance learning. So we had mostly, probably say 80% were certificated, and the remainder were classified staff getting in there and really working um, and finding the activities and tech skills that they needed to work on. Even though most of those activities we developed were for teachers and classroom use, a lot of the uh, classified staff found they could really engage in the Google productivity activities and learn how to be more productive and comfortable and confident in using those in their daily work. We did get a lot of uh, comments from teachers as they were using it, especially screencasting and learning how to do that. They would say things like, "Oh my gosh, wow, we always wondered how to do this, and now I know, and it's so simple. I'm going to use this for videoing lessons and getting these out to kids, and now I know how to do that with a Google Classroom because there's activities in that, and building my own Google site and being able to communicate with parents." And then as Kelly and I were going through all of these activities, we recruited other teachers on special assignments that were central, who could help us review different activities, especially if they were specialists in, say, EL. We would assign those EL activities to them, or if they were in community involvement and family, we would assign them to social emotional learning activities. So that was really helpful in bringing down the workload off of Kelly and me. Greg would also get in there and knock out a bunch, and we had a few of our administrators, central administrators, getting in there too. So that was helpful. But uh, it was amazing because when our district said, okay, teachers at home, if you're wondering what to do, our guidance is you need 120 minutes each day of professional learning on your own. And without a Ludo, that would have been just mayhem or wouldn't have happened. Um, Teachers jumped in, and like I said, the increase was sixfold in the users, over six times. And they are using, we're seeing them use a lot of these skills now. So that's been an amazing journey. And the March Madness helped out too.
Definitely. Well, and so that was one of my next questions was going to be around usage. So there's, I mean, the Google productivity is almost a must have if you have Google Classroom that your teachers are using with their students. But um, as far as the application in the classroom and the feedback that you've received, do you have some specific examples you can share of how that's supporting the students in a better way or in a different way than how the teachers had been doing it before?
I would have to say that because Google Classroom is so important to this distance learning, and you might have had teachers that dabbled in it before, but didn't really use it on a daily basis or use it for specific reasons, they really were able to latch on and get some better tools and just a better approach at how to use it and use it on a more daily structured basis. So I've seen that in the teachers that I work with. And then other teachers with primary, we're looking at Seesaw and how to use that and some of the other screencasting tools, and that we have a common place to guide them if they need more information, like, oh, there isn't a Ludo activity that you can try to introduce, and our ed tech lead learners can help them with that. So I've seen that we have these resources, we have the training and common language, so that now when they're talking with their team, they're all using Google Classroom, they're all using Screencastify, they're testing out Nearpod together, those kinds of things, because we have the system in place.
Right.
That's
and
great.
I was in a couple of meetings, a couple of different video meetings this morning, and the teachers would talk amongst themselves, and we had our ed tech lead learners in there, and the teachers would ask questions on tech, and it seems almost natural that a lot of our teachers are, oh, well, you should look into Ludo because there are some activities that address your question. And so instead of just giving an answer and solving it for them, they would point them in a direction so that the teachers themselves could have choice, could be empowered to find the answers themselves, as opposed to being dependent on another person to just give them an answer. So that happened in both meetings I was in earlier, from those ed tech lead learner teachers and also from administrators who are on there. It's like, oh, there's some stuff in Ludo. Look at that. So it's becoming a part of the way we speak and communicate and problem solve in the district. So that's been really great to see just this morning. Another story I had was, I've been working with a school for a couple years, and there are naturally teachers who jump on and, oh, okay, I'll try that. And there are some that are just very resistant to using tech. And this was around Google Classroom. And 2 years ago, this certain teacher was saying, I teach my way and I get my results, and I have no reason to change. And then when that teacher was at home, stuck with 2 hours of PD, um, got into a Ludo, and his first few activities were, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to create a Twitter account. You don't need to. This is all choice. This is optional. And then he started doing the Google Classroom activities, and his comment was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was so resistant to this. This fits perfectly with what I need to do for distance learning. And now I understand why so many people at the site were using it just in their regular classrooms. I can use it now and when I go back into the classroom. And I shared that with the principal without using his name. I said, hey, you got this teacher who was resistant before, and now is like the biggest, most passionate person pushing this for everyone. And the principal was so excited, and he said, I think I know who that person is. And that is like the hugest victory about, and now this teacher is spreading it to his colleagues. So that was a great story.
That is a great story. Yeah.
I'll add on a little bit to what they were talking about, and from a prior experience with Ludo. The first time we used this where I came from, we did it mostly as a self-preservation thing. I wanted to put a layer between the coaches and the teachers where we could have resources to point people to, so that when we did have to do what I term hand-to-hand combat, which is going and meeting with them one-on-one, face-to-face, that they engaged in the Ludo activities, so that conversations we did end up having during that finite time were much better and much broader than just click here and click there conversations. So this is we have not nearly enough ed tech coaches, although these two do the work of 4. We could probably